All right, next phylum I want to discuss. Let me check that I'm recording, and I am. Next phylum is Arthropoda. Moving on. If you add up all the different kinds of species, so not the number, all the different kinds of species of prokaryotes that we've gone over, both bacteria and archaea, add up all the different species of protists that we've gone over, add up all the different species of plants, all the different species of fungi that we've gone over, and add up all the different kinds of species of all the different animals that we're going to discuss, Arthropoda is going to outnumber all those different kinds of species by a bunch. We have so many different types of Arthropoda species out there. This is such a diverse phylum. It is quite impressive how many different kinds of species exist in the phylum Arthropoda. In fact, if you think about it, here are the major groups that I'm going to go over: arachnids, crustaceans, millipedes and centipedes, and insects. Which one out of those four groups do you think has the most different species? The answer is insects. Definitely insects. This is the most successful animal phylum, represented by nearly all habitats of the biospheres. If you're going to be near an animal, statistically, you are most likely to be near an arthropoda out of anything. They're found everywhere in our biosphere. And biologists today, if they do discover a new kind of animal, they're probably going to be discovering an insect. Many, many different types of insects. Okay, these are segmented animals with jointed appendages. Appendages are used for a variety of different functions. Here I have an example of a lobster that I want to show you with all the different types of appendages. Here I have swimming appendages. That's going to help with locomotion. Walking appendages also is going to help with locomotion. Maybe I have these really large appendages that are going to help with defense and attack or capturing prey. Perhaps appendages to help with sensation. So here's an antenna example for sensory reasons. Mouth parts to help with feeding, etc. All these different types of appendages to help with different events. Some of these arthropods will have them all. Some of them might have some. It just depends on the environment that they live in and what they need to function successfully. They have bilateral symmetry. In addition, they have an exoskeleton, this really neat exoskeleton that's composed of chitin, the cellulose-containing structure that's going to provide protection and points of attachment for this guy. In addition, the exoskeleton can be molted, an event known as molting. Here I can see this crab going through that event where this crab is molting, it's getting rid, it's shedding its exoskeleton, that chitin-like structure. Perhaps that crab outgrew it and needs to go ahead and create another exoskeleton. It will, and I can see that shedding event. This is molting. That exoskeleton is then left there. It's going to decompose over time, and that soft-bodied crab is then going to go on to and create a new exoskeleton. This will occur at different points in time in the life of an arthropod. Let's go over those different groups really quick. First up, I have my arachnids. You're going to find scorpions, spiders, ticks, and mites in this group. They are grouped for the reason that they have 4 pairs of walking legs, and they have specialized feeding appendages to help them with that function. Here I can see the 4 pairs of this arachnid. Okay, crustaceans are my next group. These are crabs, lobsters, crayfish, shrimp, barnacles. Yeah, lots of students group barnacles in another type of phyla. Sometimes they think it's a plant. Sometimes they think it's a protist. Barnacles are actually a type of crustacean. These guys are grouped for the reason that they're nearly all aquatic, and they have multiple pairs of specialized appendages. Okay. Millipedes and centipedes. These are your terrestrial arthropods. They're segmented, like a lot of the other arthropods, over most of their bodies. So here I have a millipede. Check this guy out. So millipedes are labeled for the reason. Here I can see their segments all over their body plan, and I can actually see 2 pairs of legs per segment. Check out that millipede. Look at that locomotion event going on for that guy. Pretty cool, pretty neat. The name is a little bit misleading, millipede. They actually don't have a million different legs, but it looks like they have a lot. Millipedes eat decaying plant matter, so they're very important in ecosystems for that reason. Centipedes have one pair of legs per segment. They're a little bit more aggressive compared to the millipede. They are very good predators in their ecosystems, and I can actually see how agile they are, how quick they are at catching their prey. They're carnivores for that reason. They actually have a pair of poison claws to help with this feeding event. They tend to also use for defense. If you see a centipede, don't go near it for the reason that they have those poisonous claws. In addition, they differ from the millipedes in that they only have one pairs of legs per segment. Okay. Insects, most successful group compared to all the other arthropods for the reason that you have large diverse array of different species that are in this group. They outnumber all other forms of life combined because there are so many of them. They have a three-part body system, so a head would be the first part, a thorax, middle body, and an abdomen, the latter part of that body. They usually have a pair of sensory antennae and a pair of eyes to help with that sense event. They have mouth parts that are adapted for particular types of eating, so it depends on their environment and how they're going to obtain those food resources. Flight is one of the key to the great successes